Almost 5,000 evacuees have fled their homes due to Typhoon Betty. Authorities are optimistic that the oil spill in Oriental Mindoro will end in a month as the vessel that will siphon the remaining oil has arrived from Singapore. And the Baguio City residents are suffering from a water shortage due to overpopulation. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. Typhoon Betty continues to decelerate as it moves northwestward over the waters east of Cagayan. Now, based on its latest tracking, Pagasa last spotted Betty at 445 kilometers east of Calayan in Cagayan. It has a maximum sustained winds of 155 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 190 kilometers per hour. Betty is expected to move generally northwestward slowly today and is seen to exit PAR by Friday. As of 5 in the afternoon, signal number 2 has been raised over Batanes and the northeastern portion of Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands. While signal number 1 is hoisted over the rest of mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Apayao, Ilocos Norte, Abra, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, as well as the northern and central portions of Aurora, Quirino, northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, northern portion of Catanduanes, northeastern portion of Camarines Sur, Polillo Islands, northern portion of Camarines Norte, and northern and central portions of Ilocos Sur. The Social Welfare Department says around 5.5 million individuals could be affected by Typhoon Betty. In an interview earlier here on One News, DSWD Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez said they have already prepared more than enough food packs that will be distributed to families affected by the typhoon. The agency also assured the public that there will be enough evacuation centers in areas that will be hit by Betty. The DSWD also urged the public to follow the call of their respective LGUs regarding preemptive evacuation.
We're looking at around 5.5 billion number of individuals that might be affected, and we're looking at around 127,000 number of families that is really susceptible to the calamity. We have already prepositioned 679,000 family food packs. So in case we're not praying, in case that the situation might be prolonged, we'll be able to give them enough, more than enough family food packs in case they need it.
Nearly 5,000 people have evacuated their homes to safer ground as Typhoon Betty moves closer to northern Luzon. According to the NDRRMC, this figure covers evacuations in Western Visayas, Central Luzon, and Mimaropa, which experience rains brought by the southwest monsoon or habagat that is enhanced by Betty. However, the number of evacuees are expected to increase, with the tally from the northern provinces of Cagayan and Batanes yet to come in. The national government meanwhile says they are ready to provide aid in these provinces. The Agriculture Department estimates that over 234,000 hectares of agricultural land could be affected by Typhoon Betty. According to the agency's Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Operations Center, agricultural products that are at risk of damage from the typhoon are rice and corn fields. This is primarily expected in Cordilleras, Ilocos region, Cagayan Valley, and Central Luzon. Seeds, fertilizers, and other needs have been pre-positioned for deployment in the DA's regional offices. DA also advises affected stakeholders to tap Survival Recovery Loan Program for up to 25,000 pesos in loans. We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Philippine National Police will look into allegations of fake accomplishments of some of its personnel in order to get promotions. This comes after the National Police Commission or NAPOLCOM bared at the House hearing that some policemen write in fake arrest and accomplishment reports to increase their chances of getting promoted. PNP Chief Benjamin Accorda has since ordered a review of the PNP's policies on the matter. He also assured that the PNP will coordinate with the NAPOLCOM to make sure that the process for rewards and promotions are foolproof.
As far as the PNP is concerned, we are always constantly reviewing our policies on promotions and rewards, and kung ano po yung nakita ng ating Vice Chair, ang maganda po dito is palagi po kaming nagko-coordinate ng ating NAPOLCOM.
The oil spill cleanup in Oriental Mindoro is seen to end with the arrival of a dynamic support vessel which will siphon remaining oil from the sunken MT Princess Empress. Justin Punsalang with the details.
Fishing boats remain parked along the shore at Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro 3 months since the oil spill from the MT Princess Empress. This is due to the imposition of fishing ban in some of oil spill hit areas including Nauhan. Fishermen in the area said the food and cash aid from the provincial government are not at par to when they were still able to fish freely.
Panood-nood na lang kami dyan sa dagat. Kahit kita namin yung isda na kaya nang hulihin ng aming lambat, pinapanood na lang.
This is why some fishermen sneak to the sea in spite of the dangers brought by the oil spill to the fish they would catch. With this, the Philippine Coast Guard appeals to them to cease operation. But they said making ends meet gets harder by the day.
Oo nga, madam. Ang problema nga namin, madam, ay yung pinansyal namin sa araw-araw.
Some residents also do not care anymore about the possible chemicals and toxins ingested by the fish from their oil-spilled area.
Wala na rin pong makain eh. Patay na kung patay, madam. Ay wala eh. Kapos.
But the plight of these fishermen in Nauhan, Pola and Pinamalayan will soon be over. The Dynamic Support Vessel or DSV Fire Opal has already arrived from Singapore, which will siphon the remaining oil coming from the MT Princess Empress.
Based on their contract, they have to accomplish the mission of retrieving the remaining oil still left under the tanker or in the tanker within 30 days.
But the Office of Civil Defense clarified that DSB Fire Opal is not tasked to lift the sunken tanker.
But we have to understand yung practical side nga. This is 400 meters ang lalim kung saan nandun yung barko. This is something to be discussed.
For News 5, Justine Punsalang, we are One News.
Baguio City has been enduring a water shortage for weeks, but the local government says the water problem has long been there due to overpopulation. Elaine Fulgencio tells us more.
Amid the threat for Typhoon Betty, residents in some areas of Baguio City have been enduring a water shortage for weeks now. Sylvia, one of the residents of Suelo Village in Baguio, has been using paper plates so she doesn't have to wash plates.
We had to resort in using paper plates instead of, the usual. And even the glasses, yung mga plastic throwaways for forks and spoons. There comes a point na ubus lahat din yun. I really hope water will come.
Residents in Santo Rosario Valley, meanwhile, are collecting rainwater for their household consumption, while others, like Kathleen, pay 1,600 pesos to fill their drums with water from a water filling station in La Trinidad, Benguet. In a post, the Baguio Water District said there has been a decrease in the water level of Santo Tomas Rain Basin since January this year. But even before this, the local government of Baguio said they have been struggling to keep up with the growing demand for water as the population of the city continues to grow. Baguio City's carrying capacity is at 243,000 people, but it now has a population of more than 300,000.
Yung sa urban carrying capacity study conducted by the NEDA talaga, we have reached yung water supply natin long before ng 2023. So matagal na nakulang talaga yung tubig ng city. So it is really a problem that we really have to address.
With this, one of the solutions they see is the rehabilitation of the wastewater treatment facility.
There is a proposal to actually improve that further by turning the wastewater into potable water. There is a way. No, we're just looking at how are we going to let the people accept yung idea that wastewater will be transformed into a potable water. Will not necessarily siguro as a drinking water, but will be used for household use, like for example washing of our clothes, paghugas ng sasakyan, yung mga ganyan, gardens, etc.
They also intend to obtain water from a nearby province that has numerous river water sources. Reporting for News 5, Elaine Fulgencio, we are One News.
One News Now will be back tomorrow morning at 7. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News. All sides, all the time.